Here's the scene. We're looking out from inside a giant mouth, massive teeth framing our view. In the foreground, a Valkyrie stands ready, shield up, sword in hand, her eyes glowing with power. Beside her, a snarling white wolf prepares to pounce. Looming behind her on the left is Loki, a wicked grin on his face. To the right, a stern woman with a mountain of curly hair stands guard over several eerie, glowing-eyed babies. Towering in the background is a giant, imposing figure, her expression unreadable, radiating immense power. All right, still inside this massive mouth. Same setup as before. Valkyrie ready for a fight, glowy-eyed with a wolf companion, sneaky Loki grinning evilly, a woman with a huge hairdo protecting glowing-eyed babies, and a giant, ominous figure in the background. This time, though, there's a big number 1 at the top, like we're starting something epic. 2 weeks ago, triplets were born, but this was no ordinary birth. Pulled from their mother's womb, they found themselves traveling through the cosmos. From Midgard to another realm entirely, a painless journey, though a bit windy over the river Jijal. In hell, their first hunger, deep and desperate, was sated by milk from the great cow Oddhumbler. Before long, they slept, unaware of the raving despair their impossible absence would produce. Meanwhile, their mother lays in bed crying, holding her belly. We're in New York now, at the McCarthy Medical Institute. Inside, Valkyrie is visiting an elderly woman in a hospital bed. Valkyrie reflects that Wilhelmina Anderson has lived a more fascinating life than anyone she's ever met, including guards, elves, and hellhounds. Now, tumors are eating away at her lungs, and Valkyrie knows she doesn't have long to live. Wilhelmina says that, shortly after, the Germans came to the hospital to recruit nurses for their base. Valkyrie explains that she was fresh out of nursing school, so she jumped into a free bed, roughed up her hair, and pretended to be a patient. She says that she spent over a year living in that hospital, working as a nurse during the day and sleeping in the hospital bed at night. Every time the soldiers came back, she would jump back in her bed, pretending to be at death's door and that everyone knew, but no one ever told the Krauts. She tells Valkyrie that she will talk and then throw her out because she's too proud to admit she enjoys the company. Valkyrie states that it makes her sad that a woman like her can die alone, adding that she needs to get back downstairs and will be back tomorrow. If Valkyrie insists on returning, Wilhelmina tells her to bring her a damn cigar, but she is not altogether surprised. Dr. Foster is walking down the hospital hallway, where he runs into Dr. Strange, who is the master of mystical arts and the best surgeon the world has ever seen. Strange asks if Foster has heard anything about a vicious beast roaming around the city, adding that he is also one of the few people who knows where he goes when he disappears from work. Foster replies that he has only heard whispers from scared phantoms, that it has a certain Asgardian flair, and that there was a guy in the ER this morning who looked like he tried to bed a grumpy Wolverine. He asks if anything has turned up in the morgue, anything unusual. Foster says that not to his knowledge, but he'll check. Strange says, "Damn, Hagen, pretend like you're talking to me. Are we in a 90s sitcom? You're her favorite person, aren't you?" It is revealed that Hagen's middle name is Vincent, and Dr. Strange's morgue assistant. Foster says that neither one of them are where they are supposed to be. She asks if Strange thinks 95 mg is enough, and he responds that he would make it an even 100 to be sure. She states that that was the worst fake doctor talk ever, and she doesn't think the old woman bought it. After Regina says that that was the worst fake doctor talk ever, and she doesn't think the old woman bought it, she thinks to herself that she wants her boss to like her. Dr. Strange replies that he was just getting a second opinion from Dr. Foster, and she responds that she is happy and astonished to learn that he is interested in second opinions. Dr. Strange mostly says that that's a lovely suit, Regina. He states that he will look into that thing for Dr. Strange, and that he wants this part of his life to work, and that even Ruddy is growing on him. Dr. Gillespie asks if there have been any animal attacks showing up in the last couple of days. Foster says that she would be lying if she said she wasn't just a little excited about the prospect of a beast to slay, and that you should ask her tireless assistant. She keeps track of every aspect of this place, working hard, day and night. She is. She tries to tell her to take some time off, maybe enjoy an extended lunch break from time to time, but no, she insists. She states, okay, point taken, How very Thor of me. Dr. Gillespie asks if there have been any animal attacks, any unusual wounds, claw marks, that sort of thing. He says that they got a guy with some pretty strange wounds down at City yesterday who looked like he'd been clawed up by something big. Foster asks if the something big killed him, but Gillespie tells her the wounds were pretty superficial, and what got him was a .338, and Foster wonders if it was a high-caliber rifle in New York. The guys down at the bar were talking. Rob said it looked like a big game accident gone wrong, except not a lot of big game around here. Foster asks what bar, but Gillespie tells her no, and she asks if he thinks Rob will be there tonight. Gillespie tells her that this bar is for morgue workers, death workers, and they don't really go in for outsiders. Well, Gillespie is a morgue assistant, but Foster tells him no. He's a doctor who got demoted because he's always running off to be, whatever you call that other thing, a Valkyrie. Foster says Ruddy. Foster is walking down a city street and says that she will give Jane the address, but Jane, these are her people, and don't embarrass her. She's recalling the time she faced 39 furious dark elves in battle over Nibiris, went toe-to-toe with the world-eating Phoenix Force, and punched Allfather Odin himself right in the beard. Foster tells herself, oh, remains of the day, for crying out loud. She wonders why she's nervous, and as she enters the bar that reads, Open Mic Night every night, she thinks that the only thing worse than being lonely and pathetic in a place like this. She asks the bartender for an embalmer's brew, please, and he replies that that's a proper drink. Foster is sitting at the bar when a man sits next to her, telling her that he likes that in a girl, referring to being stuck in the wrong conversation. He orders an abracadabra, please, light on the gin. Foster tells him no, do better or stop talking, thinking if his next words are where are you from or what do you do, I'm leaving. He tells her that Jimmy Carter once sent a jacket to the cleaners with the nuclear detonation codes still in the pocket. Foster says, oh, that is better. In a world of lies, and this world is full of the most spectacular lies, the truth is always more interesting. He thanks Billy a lot. Billy says proper drink, huh? I'm pretty sure they've reused this umbrella. I got a second-hand cocktail umbrella. What did you expect from this place? Do you come here a lot? The man responds, not nearly as often as I should. Cheers. 3 days ago in hell, Hela, the Queen of Death, has clawed her way out of a black hole and returned to hell. It has, putting it mildly, not been a great week, and somehow it is about to get worse. She asks, what do you mean gone? Are you saying the wolf has escaped? How did this happen? Her servant says he does not know, my lady. She does not show the fear she feels. Fear does not really go with being Queen of Hell, or with her outfit for that matter. She asks if it is still in hell, and her servant says no. Hela asks, and what has been done to retrieve it? What action has Carnilla taken? Nothing, my lady. Queen Carnilla has been absent these past weeks, but she knows what the wolf the World Eater is capable of, and she knows she must get it back. Hela says, well then, no time to lose, we need a hunter, and can someone please locate my wife? The long-haired man says, now it's your turn. Jane asks MHM, a truth, any random fact. The long-haired man says, sure if you want. I think you can tell a lot about people from their random facts. Following that logic, what does Jimmy Carter's dry cleaning say about you? Jane replies, I suppose it says something about my trust in the unfailing fallibility of man. It's the reason I don't believe in conspiracy theories or timely departures from Newark. Jane replies that that's a fair point, so let's see. The long-haired man then says that a labyrinth has one fixed path, while mazes have multiple branches, exits, and dead ends. People don't seem to know the difference, and it drives him nuts, asking which one would she prefer to be in. She replies that they both terrify her. What about him? He says life is a labyrinth disguised as a maze. What he's never understood is why people don't just break down the walls. He says, oh, damn it, and Jane asks, can she get him another one? No, let's get out of here, sure. Jane and the long-haired man leave the bar, and we see Valkyrie standing with her sword drawn. Tell me something, this Nordic dreamboat thing you've got going on here. A voice says, is that for me? Is that what you think I like? Valkyrie states, what? I don't. Valkyrie cuts the crap low-key, and he says, fine, how did you know it was me? You've got a cell. What? Godlike insufferableness, you cry too hard. Now what are you doing here? I'm here to warn you and I need your help. Valkyrie is bleeding Loki, is this another trick? Loki replies, no, Jane. Valkyrie, this is no trick. There's no warning. Not a rustling in the leaves, not a scratch in the stone. A giant, glowing-eyed wolf attacks, and then an attacker crashes down. It makes no sound at all. Loki asks if he's a friend of yours, a true predator. Loki says, not exactly, try grandchildren. Valkyrie says what?